Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is MJ Portas. I'm a broker, coach, trainer, educator, and I'm here to be the ace up your sleeve in life and in business. Today, I'm going to bring up something that might be an old tradition to you. You've never done it. Perhaps maybe it's just a technique that's just, as you might say, old school. Well, let me tell you something. Nothing beats face-to-face contact. So today I am going to help revive a door knocking campaign and get you excited about getting back out there face-to-face with people, converting leads in a way that maybe you're just not always able to do when you're cold calling, right? So let's take a look at that right now and get into it. So first of all, reviving a door knocking campaign means that you have to have the right mindset, and you also need to have a good plan and schedule, right? So what I want to help you do is look at door knocking in 2023 and ask yourself, will it still work? Well, the answer is yes. Of course it'll still work because there's power in the traditional techniques. Listen, I've been doing this now for 34 years and I've door knocked quite a few thousand doors in my own lifetime, and it definitely works. The importance of human interaction, that face-to-face, it shouldn't be underestimated. You know for a fact that if you are in front of someone, you know you're going to win them, right? Because they're going to get into your vibe, who you are, and they're going to have a better understanding of the sincerity that you have to help them and the knowledge that you bring. Now, there is a huge trust factor that comes into play with an instinct that people pick up on, right? So you can delete an email like this in a second. How many of you are just so tired of all of this spammy email that we get, right? But you can't delete a door knock or a cold call. Email blasts, they're not always particularly effective. Although they have been in recent past, many people are just so sophisticated with their spam filters that they're inundated with emails, so they ignore them and you're immediately just ignored and left to not even be looked at, right? No matter how great the subject matter may be. And more importantly, none of these approaches allow for that human to human interaction face to face that is so important and valued. Now, technology can be integrated with door knocking in a way that makes these old school methods more targeted and effective, but you've got to be able to know what types of things that you can do using your CRM and a lot of the tools that are available out there for you. Now, what I want to help you grasp in these next few minutes is just really think about, okay, what's my intention on a day-to-day basis? I'm in sales, right? I need to be talking to a certain amount of people per day to be able to reach my monthly goal, yet alone my yearly goal. So our intention in door knocking is to meet new people, right? We're looking to meet homeowners, people that are renting, and get recognized as the local realtor, right? You're establishing your brand and you're building the database of the neighborhood that you've chosen. You're also here to spark curiosity and intrigue. And with that, it's going to take a lot of, what are you providing as far as value? But people are a little bit more curious if you're coming to the door and you're not solar. Because you are to dress appropriately. I dressed in a way that I door knock to this day. And I'm dressed like I would be if I'm going to be out and about in the neighborhood. I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling religion. I'm not selling books. I'm not selling solar, right? So I want to be non-threatening. That's what you want to do, but you still want to stand out, right? You want to look well and dress appropriately, but you're looking to spark a little bit of curiosity. Perhaps you're wearing a shirt that has your logo on it and your name on it. I'm always wearing a hat. Sometimes it can have something on it that just might spark curiosity. That's important. Now, I'm not going to leave out the fact that many people are standoffish about it just because of the fact that it's possibly dangerous. You're very nervous about going out and talking and knocking doors nowadays. But in any case, we need to talk about safety. So first of all, it's better to go with a buddy. And if you can't go with a buddy, then you should share your route with someone who's local, whether it be your manager, your spouse, a local friend or neighbor. Here's where I'm going to be. This is the time that I'm going to be there. I want you to know my route where I'm walking. Always have your phone fully charged. Trust me, I've made mistakes where, shoot, I only had half of it, or have a charger with you, right? Have your hands free. They should be free. You shouldn't be holding all kinds of stuff that you couldn't be ready to make sure that you were taking care of yourself, especially when you're walking. You've got to be careful to watch your step because, that sometimes the pavement's uneven. Now, wear good running shoes. Yep, just in case you need to run from a crazy dog that's loose or something. So wear good shoes. Have something to take care of yourself or to draw attention. For some people, they're going to have some mace with them. I have a loud sounding device that is hanging from my pant belt loop. And if I just yank on that, it is going to give the most annoying noise ever. So something that will draw attention to you in case of emergency. And carry some dog treats with you. There are some loose dogs out there. You might approach a home and, oh, shoot, maybe the dog was just around the corner and he's loose. Have some dog treats ready and available. It's always worked for me, and it kind of just keeps them at bay. And if you have to leave, you're done with that house, move on to the next one. They won't follow you. Okay. Now, lead generating, it's what we do. It's what we need to be doing on a consistent basis. And sometimes, we know if I could just meet them, if they could just talk to me and see my face and my smile and feel my vibe and my energy, I'm going to win them, right? And I said that recently. You need to have this interaction with people. But yes, of course, you need to have a mixture of strategies when you're lead generating. And there is the digital way. That's always good, but nothing replaces face-to-face. So in the age of technology and remote working, a lot of us are working from home. Door-to-door sales is very much alive and well. How many of you have had people come to your door? Now let's set solar aside and not talk about it or think about it anymore, because I know you could probably get a solar person coming to your door for, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And we might get sick and tired of that, which keeps people from maybe opening the door. However, those people that are in sales and really know, what, I have a reason and a purpose and great intention when I go out and talk to people. So it's going to take some grit to be successful. You've got to be persistent and have what I say, never say die attitude. To be successful at door knocking, it takes desire. It's the desire to meet people. It takes a good plan and a schedule with all of your valuable marketing pieces in place. You're going to want to canvass a neighborhood consistently, on average, 3 times a month, and talk with hopefully 90% of the residents as you're getting out there more and more. The average realtor can create 1 lead for every 50 doors they knock on. For real. Conversion rates are a lot higher with face-to-face meetings, generating a sale. I mean, it is a lot harder to try to get that interaction when you are making these phone calls and sending out text messages. The vibe just doesn't come out the same as when you've got somebody in front of you, right? So I love this saying, and it's something I think you should really just post it somewhere in your office. The doors will be open to those who are bold enough to knock. You've got to knock. If you want something to happen, you're going to have to go after it, right? So be bold, go out there and knock. And that's why I want to help revive this door knocking campaign with you today. Now, what are the benefits of door knocking? Love it or hate it? It has great benefits of becoming the realtor of choice in a specific neighborhood. I've got a great story to tell, and I'm going to tell it to you really short. When I was door knocking years ago, I had chosen this area of responsibility that I knew was going to be a great place. And so I began to door knock, had my schedule, everything was great. Finally got to a door where they kind of challenged me in a way, but it was good. They said to me, listen, this is the first time I've met you. I've seen some of the things that you've been giving out. They're really good pieces of information. But I do want to tell you that there is another realtor that has been coming around for the last 2 years so consistently. We know him by name. We know everything about his family. We know everything about, what he stands for in the neighborhood. And he's been very consistent for the last 2 years. So If for any reason I think about selling, I'm going to work with him because he's been so diligent. And that told me it works. It told me that there was loyalty and that he became the realtor of choice for that neighborhood. So I continued with it very consistently. Not only did I stay in that neighborhood, but I moved in other neighborhoods and did become the realtor of choice. It works. Let's talk about 5 things that I really want you to help see as far as the benefit of reviving your door knocking excitement. I want you to get excited about knocking doors again, okay? So number 1, doesn't cost very much. It's low cost. Meeting new people is part of your database building, right? So with minimal cost and sweat equity, this low cost option generates conversation and it generates new leads. First thing, right? Doesn't have to cost that much money. Number 2, it's aimed at a very specific target because you're choosing where you're going to go based on whether it's turnover or a lot of renters in the neighborhood or people that have lived there for a very long time and have a lot of equity. You're choosing, right? So you're in better control of the conversation and the situation because you know the area that you're working with. You know who you're knocking and the target that you're going after. And there are a lot of really great tools that I can show you very quickly that you can be using to identify that. Number 3, you're definitely going to stand out from the competition. I mean, just think about it. In the last week or 2, maybe even the last 30 days, has a realtor knocked on your door? I mean, really, have they? Very few are doing it, right? So you are going to stand out from the competition. See, the average agent does not include it in their marketing strategy. They don't. Maybe they'll do it for a just listed only or a just sold only or to invite to an open house. And it becomes just very like popcorn, very sporadic. So they don't choose it as a pillar of lead generation in their activities, nonetheless, at all in the year or even daily or weekly. So naturally, you're going to stand out above the rest. Now, you can boost your brand identity just by doing this. And so many of us focus on our brand, we focus on all of that because you're building your own business. So showing your face and delivering your branded marketing material is identifying you very clearly, right? You're establishing your name, what you love, what you stand for, and it's establishing that brand for the future, just like the story that I told you. And the 5th one is that it increases credibility and conversion. You get your message across clearly, right? You're sharing in your marketplace the knowledge that you have about the community, about your city, about your zip code, and you're boosting your lead conversion with that specific value proposition. What might it be? So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm currently doing now in the door knocking that we're doing for our territory and area of responsibility, as the specific value proposition has to do in the state of California. And we have a proposition called Proposition 19, which is geared toward seniors, 55 and older, anyone in that home that is on the chain of title, if they've been if they're severely disabled or they've been in a wildfire disaster and they've been labeled as a victim of wildfire disaster, they have a certain tax benefit. So I am going out very specifically to that target and I know exactly who I'm after and what the conversation sounds like. So when I know when I'm walking and looking at my phone as to where I'm going, that it's a renter, then I have a different piece of information. Does that make sense? So credibility about what you're talking about, the conversion rate goes up, and I'm having great conversations. Now, you've got to develop your strategy. Yep, you've got to have one. So you need to choose properties, for example, that have equity, people that are going to upsize or downsize. You want to choose an area that's walkable. If it's just going to be too hard for you, too hilly, too windy, then don't choose that area, right? Choose areas that you can walk and that you can get to a minimum of the day if you're walking alone and 200 with a buddy, okay? What do you drop? What do you do? Now, the thing I want to help you understand is there is a difference between door dropping and door knocking. It is called door knocking for a reason. And yes, that means you're waiting for them to come to the door so that you can hopefully have that conversation about the specific value message that you have. But there's a difference when you're just trying to canvas a certain message then you're just going to go drop your information. And then perhaps what we do is we go back and follow up and say, did you get our door hanger? We were sharing this information. We're here to see if you have any questions. Difference between door dropping and door knocking, right? Now, old saying, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So yes, you do need to have a preparation and a plan. So choose your schedule. Develop that strategy by having your schedule for knocking. There's a difference between when you drop. There's a difference for when you're going to knock, wait outside, and hopefully get someone to come to the door. You've got to put it on your schedule. 2 to 3 days a week minimum. Prepare your consistent marketing value to deliver monthly. What is that specific target message perhaps for the month? Are you going to have a market update the next time you drop? Maybe you're creating a newsletter the third time that you drop with some city information and maybe some real estate advice. You can include a testimonial, even a just listed, just sold, or an open house if perhaps you have it there. But it's putting it on a schedule. Now, what's the plan? What's the campaign? Here's an example. Let's say you're going to choose a minimum of 400 to 500 homes in a neighborhood. Okay. Example, knock 5 times a week, 50 doors a day. Now, this is for your door knocking. Door dropping is different. 50 doors a day, 5 times a week. It'll take you about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on if it's hilly or you start having some really good conversations. Now, the example should be somewhere testing your area between 4:30 and 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock and 11:30 a.m. I am currently doing this now, so I can attest to you that you do have to test your neighborhood to see when people are home so that you can catch them Monday through Friday, or you can choose Tuesday through Saturday, whatever works for you, right? Saturdays, 10:30 to 11:30, people are out watering their lawns. They're getting ready to maybe walk a dog, whatever. You can catch some people working on their yards out front. Now, the goal is to establish meeting people in the neighborhood. That's the point. That's the reason why I'm there. I want to meet the homeowners. I want to talk to the renters face to face. And my goal within that period of maybe 6 to 9 months, I am building my pipeline. I'm establishing my brand. People are getting to know who I am. And I'm meeting people face to face. They're getting to know that I am there as their local realtor to offer them value, or just call me if you have a question. I've got some amazing resources. I'll lead you to them. Now, you can now do your door dropping and drop 2 times. You can do 2 times a month, 250 each time, Monday through Friday, Monday and Friday, excuse me, maybe 2.5 hours if you're going to do it on your own or with a buddy. Take your lender with you, but dropping and door knocking, 2 different things. So what do you drop? Just listed, just sold. Open house invitation, market updates, your targeted messages I just gave to you. Absentee owners have targeted messages, but it's really they're getting things in the mail. Your sellers and your buyers and your renters get a certain type of message, right? A newsletter, a testimonial, certain loan programs specific to your area, to your county, to your state. Maybe there's a garage sale in the neighborhood and you're sponsoring it. Maybe there's a local event and you're sponsoring a shredding event. Whatever it is, there's plenty of things that you can just drop to provide information. And do not forget your call to action. What do you want them to do? Now, lastly, what you say matters. You know, you've got to have an opening script. Don't just show up off the cuff and not know what you're going to say. So, you know, a cold meeting with no connection just yet, it may go something like this. Hello, my name is MJ Portas. I am a local real estate broker agent with Chapeau Properties, and I'm sharing information with the neighborhood regarding the Proposition 19 or whatever the reason is for your visit. Were you aware of this tax benefit program for the state of California? Or have you considered making a move in the coming months? Whatever your service or whatever you're offering. Another cold opening that you did not get the listing maybe in your area and you're like, shoot, but you got to keep walking and you got to keep meeting the neighbors. What is that? Hello, my name is MJ. I'm your neighbor and your local real estate agent with Chapeau Properties. I noticed our neighbor just put their home on the market for $950,000. This is such a desirable area and people are really looking to move in this neighborhood. I believe I can get a similar amount for this model. Which model do you have? Have you considered a move recently? You've got to know what you're going to say and then continue on with great rapport building. Now, door knocking etiquette, don't ring the bell. That's why it's called door knocking. You know, people are sleeping during the day, babies could be asleep, people are homeschooling. So it's a gentle knock, not a pounding knock. Walk away from the door, knock again, step away from the door, always smile. And for sure, if there is a no solicitor sign, do not drop or knock. They're asking you politely. Don't make it weird. So what I want to share with you is that this works. You've got to get out there, move, meet people, pick a route and go. Don't overthink the area. Your neighborhood, it's a great place to start. Fear, yeah, it's there, it's inevitable, but it's the same fear you can have with trying to make a bunch of phone calls too. And you've got to get over that as well. Overcome it with skill and scripting. Have a plan, put it on your schedule, don't wing it, and be prepared. Face-to-face will always be a great way to generate conversations and establish the fact that you're building your pipeline. So I hope this really got you excited about reviving your door knocking plan and campaign. I look forward to any messages that you'd like to send me. Here's my information, and you have a wonderful day. Go out there and ace it. Bye for now.